How's everybody doing? Sparky, what's up, bud? Let me check my stream strength here, guys, to make sure we're good. Yvonne, what's up? Let's see here. What's my stream health at? Excellent. It's on excellent. Good to see you, Annette. Tracy, nice to see you guys. Debbie Har, how you doing? Hope everybody's having a good evening. Hope everybody's going strong. Yep, you are here. Layla, good to see you. Leslie, Penny, Yvonne, I already said hi to you, I think. Debbie Har, yep, here. Not sure. Well, I'm not sure either. Antonio, Taylor. Yeah, guys, Little Fuzzy, is it you? I don't know. Is it, guys? How's your guys' reception coming in there? Hey, Daryl. Bloomington, huh? Hoosier. I like my Hoosiers. Oh, her. Okay. Debbie Her. All right. Thank you for that correction. I don't like to butcher people's names, so I do appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that there, guys. She sure has some mood swings. What you talking about, David? I must have missed something. Oh, goodness. What'd I miss? Already? Somebody, I don't know. It says, I'm out of it today. Can't, yeah, concentrate. Yeah, you can't concentrate, Taylor. Did it again, didn't you? Wow. Okay. That's probably on purpose. Good joke, though. Alexandra, good to see you. All right. That's an Aussie. I like my Aussies, guys. Autocorrect. Yeah, that thing kind of sucks. I hate autocorrect sometimes. Sometimes it saves you, and a lot of the times it just makes you look crazy when it says certain stuff. Yeah, for sure. The sun, Debbie Her. Yeah, stuff going on, right? Well, guys, yeah. So there is some stuff going on. I got some stuff to share with you. Real Talk is jamming it tonight. Are they, George? Yeah, I was over there a minute ago. I didn't type in the chat. Guys, sometimes when I go to other channels, I'll be in there, and I see a lot of you guys. I see you from Switzerland. Awesome. I do pay attention. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? How you feeling, girl? Let us know, please. Thanks, Casey. I really appreciate that. The past few weeks have been kind of difficult here on my channel because we're kind of going through a I don't want to call it a changing phase because I've really always been like this. I just haven't had the avenue to communicate with you guys this directly. And I like it, I think it's beneficial for everybody. So, yeah. But I am trying, guys. I think everybody can probably see it. Haven't really heard many people comment on it, but the daily updates that I'm doing and then doing this live later, the daily updates are pretty, they're only a little over 30 minutes, sometimes a little bit more or a little bit less, just depends. And that's kind of where my content was at anyway, without the live streams. I'm giving them the same stuff, it's just during a live stream. So, yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It's not really about, likes or anything like that for me. It just helps the algorithm, and it pushes the video up a little bit further. It does help. It really does. People, even a down thumb, if you guys don't know this, when you put a like or an unlike on a video, the algorithm doesn't know the difference. It just sees that somebody hit that button that, either they liked it or disliked it. It didn't matter to the algorithm. And the reason why is it's saying that, it's telling the algorithm's seeing that people are taking the time to do that. So it pushes things up higher for somebody that does do ads and stuff on here. So that's why. Yeah. Yeah. Is it Dina or is it Dinah? Hi Della. Good to see you. Darlene, I think that's the first I've seen you in here right now. L, good to see you, L. Yeah, guys, that's L there makes a good point. The density was up to 12.3. That's pretty dense. I appreciate that, Dina. Dinah. Okay, yeah, you just corrected me there. Yeah, thank you for that, though. Again, guys, I do try to get your guys' names right. Let's see, it might be Batman. That is awesome. Hey, I got a cool story about that, Batman. This is actually happening right here where I live right now. We have a guy that's dressing up like Batman, and he's going to like the major intersections in my town, and he's climbing up on the electrical boxes that operate the like traffic lights. And he's dressed up like Batman, and he's like, trying to play the part. It's really crazy. And I think they actually gave him a ticket a few times for because he'll go to the major intersections where I live, which isn't like a big city. I live in a city of about 30,000. But yeah, it's hysterical. And believe it or not, guys, I support things like that because, especially what's going on in the world today, if you can go outside and just take a break from it and just look around and have a laugh at somebody doing that, it's worth it, in my opinion. But then we had somebody else that actually dressed up like Spider-Man and and it was a different person. Went to the roof of one of our downtown buildings and was up there acting like Spider-Man. It was really crazy. It really was. Yeah, Sparky. Yeah, you would know, wouldn't you, bud? I mean, man, he gets on the electrical boxes, not the ones that are like up, not like the transformers up on the poles, guys. It's the just electrical boxes sitting there that actually operate where all the electric is for the traffic lights. And Sparky, I'm sure Sparky can back me up on this. A lot of that stuff now is done by remote. They don't really even have to access the inside unless something goes wrong. I think they can just kind of like set it with a computer from across the country if they wanted to. I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But yeah, guys, we do have a few things going on here. I'm going to keep the chat pulled up. We are going to keep this laid back like we have been. I do like being able to, automated relays. Yep. Hey Sparky, I worked on $1 million printing equipment for almost 20 years. So I know quite a bit about relays and photo eyes, fiber optic eyes, all those kinds of things. UV bulbs, and I've talked about that here. All that applies, believe it or not. And that was one of my biggest things when I had to leave my job. That what was I going to use that knowledge for? Because it was so pinpointed in one direction. I did food containers, plastic food containers, and I worked on the printing aspect of it. The machines that would print the food containers, like Dannon Yogurt, Cool Whip. For over 20 years, we were the sole provider to every Cool Whip bowl in the country, from like an 8-ounce Cool Whip bowl, the smaller ones, came right here where that's the department I worked in. So, that's a pretty big deal. That machine would run, sometimes we'd have to run on 3 or 4 different machines at the same time, running the same product, especially right before the holidays. So it was, yeah. Were you talking about, Teresa, you not feeling very good? Oh my gosh, Teresa. Wow. This might sound ridiculous, Teresa. Forgive me if I'm speaking like this, but are you still in hospice, or were you able to make it out of that? I'm just curious because I'm concerned. I care. Hey Tony, good to see you. But that's horrible all in itself. Wow. Was she pregnant, or was she, was the baby born and then passed, or was it a miscarriage? You don't have to tell any of this if you don't want to. Okay? And, please don't. If you don't feel comfortable, if it gets you really, really upset, please don't. But you're welcome to email me, okay? Yeah. That's sad. I'm sorry, Teresa. I really am. Everybody, we all need to pray for her for sure. And her family is that's a hard thing to go through. You know, it makes the rest of us, Teresa. Just so you know, it makes the rest of us, number one, we feel for you because we care, but it also helps us realize that sometimes what we're going through doesn't even hold a candle to what others are. And if they can make it through, why can't we? And keep a smile on our face. But yeah, to the Space Weather guys, and who asked it? Was that you, George, that asked that question about Duchess? Yeah, I did. And I got something to add to that here in a minute. You guys are going to kind of, it's kind of weird how these things are working out. He's right, guys. I'm still in it. Oh, did you leave me a message? She was 19 and a half weeks along. Wow. Man. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry. Oh, did you? I'll have to go look at my email. Oh, man. They're going to make her give birth? Wow. Man, I just don't. Man, I really don't. That throws me for a loop because I can, and I don't want to say that I know what you're going through because I don't. But what I can say is my mom, my sister's 17 years younger than me. Well, thank you, Teresa. I feel the same way. And I know everybody here feels the same way about you, Teresa. I know they do. But, me and my sister were 17 years apart, and there's a reason for that. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 17. First time she got pregnant. She carried me to term. Obviously, I'm sitting here talking to you. As ugly as I am, but, Okay. 2 nights ago. Okay. I'll see if I can't find that, Teresa. I appreciate that. But anyway, my mom had 13 miscarriages and a tubular pregnancy between me and my sister. And then 2 miscarriages after. And what I'm saying there is that, she got pregnant with my sister after all that and actually carried her to term. So things really put things in perspective. And, my sister is so special to me anyway. I was only able to spend, 1 year with her as I was growing up, I guess. I was like 17 when she was born. So, I got married when I was 18. So, it's like this. You know how I look at this, Teresa? And I think I said this before. When I make it to heaven, I got the biggest family reunion. And, I get to meet all my brothers and sisters that didn't make it. So I got a lot of family to meet up there. And, I'm looking forward to that for sure. My mom had 1 fallopian tube when she got pregnant with my sister. So, it is what it is, that's real. Okay, guys? That's real life. That's what we all go through. And I'm not afraid to talk about it because Teresa's not either. She's talking about it. And I think that this is why I like these laid-back live streams because, we can connect at that level. And it definitely is, plus we can talk about stuff at the same time. So, yeah, Tam, that's, she had two miscarriages after my sister was born. One of which, she was pregnant at the same time as my wife was with my first son. And just to let you in a little secret here, I couldn't even go to the mall with my mom and my sister when she was first born without people thinking she was my kid. My mom looked that young, and I've been able to get into bars since I was 15. So everybody thought my sister was my kid, and me and my mom were like married. Since then she's yeah, this is how she was. It was an interesting thing, once you tell somebody that too, when they say, "Oh, congratulations, you guys," and you tell them, "Hey, that's my mom." You know what I mean? It's like, dude, chill out. But I can understand, because if you've seen pictures of my mom, you would know what I'm talking about. So it is most definitely she definitely did not age very fast. Um, you know, but she's been through some stuff just like all of us, and it was definitely I don't, in a weird way, I kind of enjoyed that, because that was my sister, and I do think I kind of missed out a little bit on having a sibling when I was growing up, but it wasn't anybody's fault, you know. So it just wasn't meant wanting for me in the cards. But let me tell you something that it did do for me. It taught me how to be a good father, because I was able to see firsthand and actually participate in taking care of my sister at that young age. I mean, I changed her diapers and stuff often, every day. Okay, just trying to help out, because my mom and my dad worked kind of odd shifts sometimes, and it just ended up being like that. But it did help, and that was maybe that was the reason. But I can tell you this: when you have your first baby, there's nothing like it, And when my wife got pregnant with my second one, my biggest fear was, because we often talked about just having the one and quitting. And the reason why I was always fearful, because I didn't know if I could, spread that love out. I thought I would be jipping one or the other. And what I figured out was that I didn't have to split it. My love just grew. It was the same for both of them. And then I had my daughter, and it was the same for that. So, that's a fear that I had, because I didn't want to take that away from my first child or deprive my second child of that. And that's exactly what happened with me. It's kind of like the Grinch. Your heart just, bam. It just grows, and there's no question. And that's true for about 99% of all of us. There are those select few out there that just don't give a crap about nobody but themselves. They're easy to spot, too. But anybody that really cares, they figure out real fast when they start having more than one child that, yes, your time does get kind of split a little bit, but the time you're spending with each one of those becomes that much more important, and but it's a lot better. It's the time is spent better with each one of them. So I don't feel bad about any of that, because that's just how it worked out. That's how I felt. And my kids are, I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing, but I got a 25-year-old that's had a job for 4 or 5 years now straight. He's very responsible. Didn't used to be. I mean, he's about 18. I won't go into that, but he did, pick himself up. I got a 21-year-old that still lives at home, but he never misses work. He's had a job for, 2 years, and he's not missing nothing. And then, again, I have my daughter she's great. So, I feel really, really blessed, when it comes to that. It is so, it really is. It's one of those things, it's like, it really humbles you, and it makes you realize that all this stuff that I show you guys here on my channel, it really puts it in perspective, that even though this stuff is bad information, as far as, for the most part, negative to make people aware, it is still, there's still other things out there that give us a reason to even talk about this stuff. That's, when I look at my kids, that's why I talk about this stuff. Because I know that my time here left isn't really all that long. They're the ones that are going to be left with all this stuff to pick it up, not me. And that's where my drive comes from. But it's been like that since the beginning. But we'll get into so let's get into some space weather. Like I said, guys, this is a laid back stream, and that's why we're doing it this way. I didn't like jip the daily report either that I do. I put effort into that too. I make sure that I get it all out there. But we're having more stuff going on, guys. So let's take a look at that, at least a little bit of it. We will start right here. There was another CME, believe it or not. I showed you guys this in my daily report earlier today. And so I'm going to push start here. And I'm going to push pause right about there. Now you guys see that? Hey Della, how are you? Will Spirit. Louie Lou, good to see you. Shiloh 777. Oh, you up there in England, huh? Awesome. Dream Warrior, good to see you. Darlene, AJ, if I miss anybody, Kimberly Ann. Okay, we got a second CME, guys, over here. But look at this. That is no filter whatsoever. Let me zoom in on that. Now you tell me. What do you guys think about that one? You guys can go right over to Siege right now and pull this up for yourself. And this is right here is exactly what you're going to see. So, it becomes, like I said, guys, it's become to the point where I actually just show you this and I don't even need to say anything. Because it is right there. It is not even a question on really what is going on there. Okay? And there was a lot of stuff talking about, like plasma stuff, like a ball of plasma or bubbles or whatever in the plasma and all that kind of stuff. And there was a big to-do about that a while back. There was some other stuff going on. You guys probably already know the situation, but that is a hard line. There is no filter there. Okay? So for this thing to present in such a hard line with no filter softening the image at all, and it still looks like that, come on, man. What are you talking about, Kimberly Ann? What you got? What are you talking about? Okay, sorry, I'm done. I love Wage. What are you talking about, Kimberly? What you in there just smacking the chat or something? Let me see. Hey, Watchwoman, good to see you. Yeah, we'll talk about Dutch's stuff here in a minute, guys, okay? Hey, you don't be, thinking that that's a bad thing. It's okay. I don't know what the conversation was, if it was just about what we were talking. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Let me talk about what she just talked about there just for a second. And I don't like to really bring this out on my channel, but because it's such a point of contention for a lot of people. And again, it's another one of those things that's very polarizing. And people get upset with me because I don't let it polarize me. I'm able to see all points of view, and it really upsets both sides, really. It's really kind of bad for me. But I refuse to do it. I'm not going to pick a side when it comes to that. I have my own opinions, but I'm not going to, not like somebody because of something like that. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But the only thing that I would say about, tribulation stuff and stuff like that, I was brought up, obviously a Christian and all that. And from the time I was, 12, probably when I first kind of remember this, and even before that, really, the Lord's been coming back for over 40 years now. And what I mean by that, and it's not a negative, like, that it sounds really negative when I say it like that, but it's not really that way. What I mean by that is that there has been so much theory, so many things that have happened, so many, events that kind of point towards that kind of thing. And, up to this time, nobody has gotten it right. As far as, people will put dates on things. That's a mistake, guys. When we're talking about those kinds of things. Because let me tell you what it did to me. When I was about 17 years old, well, it was that's when it first started creeping in my mind. But about the time I was 23, 24 years old, it really started messing with me. Because I was told that at such a young age all the time. Lord's coming back tomorrow, that kind of thing, right? And then, 20 years passed and we're all still here. What does that do to somebody's mind? It causes them to question. Okay? And when you're questioning your faith because of somebody said a date, there's a big issue with that. You see where I'm getting at? That's why, I know, listen, I know we can know the season. And that's where I stop. Because, and that's the other thing too, we can argue about what is the season actually. The Bible talks about, a day being 1,000 years and all this and a whole bunch of other things come into play there. But what good is it to set a date? And I often hear this too. You better get ready for the Lord coming back, right? I hear that so much. Get ready, get ready. Well, no, I don't hear anybody saying stay ready. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to worry about a date. It's that simple. It really is. If people would just grab that, it would really, set a lot of people's mind at ease. None of us are going to be perfect, and it's not even expected, right? But we can still stay ready. They said the term that gets used a lot is, you keep oil in your lamp. Back then, they had to have oil in the oil lamps to have light at night, right? So that's the terminology that they came up with, because you didn't want to be the person that didn't keep your lamp full and you had to go on some emergency trip and you ran out of oil in your lamp. Then you had no light. That's where that term came from. Yeah. Grandmaster right there, he said it just like I said. So you gotta, and that's, Acts says something here too that really hits home with a lot of people that they forget. They're so focused on tribulation and all this other stuff, and the rapture is the big word that they use. Even though that, and most people don't know this, but that word was never ever said in the Bible. They get the word rapture from the phrase, to be caught up, will be caught up, and they've translated it and used the word rapture. But it's one of those things that it's a hard subject to wrap your mind around, and we don't need to confuse each other or get somebody thinking that it's going to happen tomorrow when we just simply don't know. So what we should be doing, in my opinion, is just telling everybody, stay ready. If you're not ready, get ready and then stay that way. That sense of urgency has to, even if he doesn't come back for 1,000 more years, there still needs to be urgency, because like Acts said right here, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Who says we're even going to make it to the tribulation? Not all of us are going to do that. Some of us are going to pass away, and so, maybe if I walk out tomorrow, I get hit by a bus. God forbid. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stay where we need to stay. So yeah. So, back to space weather. So yeah, I'm sorry guys if I kind of ran off, but like I said guys, this is why I'm doing these live streams. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff, because it helps me, and I think that I can communicate and connect with you guys, and while I'm still getting the information out. In the earlier video, and then if something else happens, I can bring it to you guys here. That's why I put laid back in the thumbnail. But anyway, we got this right here. Now, come on, guys. There's no filter there. So, like I said, what are we supposed to do with that? I'm sorry, it just doesn't look like a bubble to me. You know, I just can't think that that one is. There's others that kind of look like it, but this one here, no way. I mean, I don't know. You know, that's just my opinion, but that's what it is. You know, and then if you follow it on through, see what happens. Did you guys see that? We're bringing it back till when we first seen it. Okay, so the thing is here that, you know, what we're talking about here is if there is an object there, right? The next frame, this thing ain't zipping out. Okay, what you're seeing is the actual plasma going around this object, and it gets distorted, but it halfway holds on to that shape. Watch what it does. Okay, and if I stop it right there, you can still kind of faintly see that it's still right here. It hasn't moved that much, if at all. So what we're seeing like jetting out real fast isn't an object, it's the actual plasma that goes around it. And that's just my opinion. And that, hey Isaiah's Granny, Della, good to see you guys in here. Yes, George, I really think that is causing some of our flare action. Okay, good thought there. You know. So, yeah. And George, you touched on something there too. You know, it has a large gravity and it's pulling material from the sun. Yeah, the gravity does have some effect there, but what's more so is the actual the magnetic fields are interacting. Okay. We're finding more and more, even in mainstream science, that they're leaning more towards the electric universe theories. Yes, the gravity is still part of that theory, but it's not, everything isn't based around that one particular force, okay? We're finding out the electromagnetism definitely has a huge effect, if not a bigger effect on everything than what gravity does. So, hey Tammy, how you doing? Deborah, good to see you in here. So yeah, it's again, if Sparky's still in here, he knows electricity, so he knows magnetism. Okay, they go hand in hand. Most people don't know. A lot of people don't know that, but that is true. Usually, when you're talking about one, the other one comes into the formula or the conversation at the same time. So when we're talking about stuff like sitting right there, remember that this edge is not the edge of the sun. That's not the surface of the sun. Surface of the sun's about like this. Okay? If I scoot this over and show you the red one, that's the surface of the sun. So there's a pretty decent amount of distance between this and the surface of the sun. It's not like right next to it. Now, we've seen certain things like pass through the corona and everything else. But this was, like I said, this would be out by the sun because the plasma is going around this object. And so what that does is it gives you some sort of a size comparison. So if I was to take a screenshot of this, well, let me back it up one image because that's when it was really prevalent. No, not there yet either. Okay, so if we take that and we just transposed it over here, you're probably going to fit, I'm going to say 10 of them in there. So that's about a tenth of the size of the sun. And that's just a rough estimate, guys. I mean, obviously, you've seen what I just did right there. But that still makes it a huge object. Yeah, Birthday, he just said it, Gravity is relatively a weak force next to electromagnetism. He's 100% right. Guys, think about what we're made out of. We're carbon-based, right? Most of us are, like I said, we're, 80% water? Something like that. There's a reason why they tell you not to swim in a lightning storm. So there, everything that has, what we've got going on, we have our own little electromagnetic field around us. We just don't realize it because it's not that strong. So these atoms that are bouncing around out here in space, they each have their own magnetic field. It goes down to that small of a level, guys. It's in everything, just like frequency is, right? So, with that being said, astro dust. I don't know what you're talking about there, man. Are we gonna die or what? No, I don't. That's why you joined this. Okay, all right, whatever. Yeah, I don't. No, we're not gonna die. Hopefully not. You're not gonna hear that stuff come out of my mouth, because I don't think any of this stuff's gonna kill us. I think that it could definitely give us some issues catastrophically, but I don't think any of it's gonna. It's not world ending. That's what I'm gonna say. So it's one of those things, guys. A lot of people that come into this community at first, they think all of us think that some big planet's going to smash into us. No, it's far from that. That's not at all what we think. It definitely is, yeah. So, with that being said, let's go on to something different here real quick. I am going to push play here so you guys can see that again. We'll run that through there a few times. Let me back that back off. I do find it interesting that these happen, within hours of each other. And again, guys, the CME tracker still hasn't updated. So yeah, let's see here. Who made that comment? Let me see. Betty. She makes a good point there. Okay, guys. Even if you don't believe completely in like electric universe theory and all that, anything that has electromagnetic field, you got to understand that they're not attracting to each other. They're actually repelling the majority of the time. Okay, you got like, if you get positive to positive with two magnets, what happens? They're pushing against each other. They're trying not to hit each other. That's why they use these high-speed particle colliders. CERN, right? They have to overcome those kinds of things. And that's when they get that to happen and they can actually collide these particles, that's a lot of energy getting expelled. There's something called an interplanetary magnetic shock wave. They actually caught it for the first time last summer. And what that is when you get, like, say this CME right here blows off, say there was another one that blew off right behind it, but it was moving faster than the first one. When it catches up to that first one, it actually creates a shock wave. Not because they collide, but because their magnetic fields interact with each other and they push away. So you get a little extra burst of energy when that happens. I did a few videos on that when that paper came out on that one. It was a good job catching that because they really did a good job catching that. That's a hard thing to catch. Now, why is that important? Well, say we had solar wind come off of the sun. It gets to Earth. Well, there was solar wind behind it that was moving just a bit faster, right? So what if they actually interacted at the same exact time that they made it to Earth? What that means is we get an extra punch from all that. So yeah. So, May, yeah, there's no, I don't even think these CMEs are coming at us, guys. Okay? Let me say that. May was sitting there talking about power outages and stuff. It's good to have that kind of thing ready to go at all times. But this wouldn't be something that would cause, even if that thing was coming right at us. This one is a larger sized CME. But we have to understand that when we're talking about a CME that's just going to completely just blow our lights out, that would be a full halo. What that means is, as you're looking at this, if it blew right off at us, like right here in the middle, what you're seeing here on this little part right here would be all around that. The whole screen would look like that. And they've happened before. They've caught them before. Okay? So they've already hit us before. And those are the times that we talk about, like the outages that happened up in Canada when they lost a quarter of their grid for a certain amount of time. I would assume that the Carrington event was something similar, if not way, way bigger. It's sorry that we I really wish we could have this imaging back then during that Carrington event. Could you imagine what we could have learned from that? We learned enough from it already, but we could learn so much more if we had this technology back then. And sometimes we get kind of, those of us that do these videos, we get a little excited when we see stuff like this, because it does kind of confirm what we talk about sometimes. It's not that we think that this stuff is like good for us or anything like that, but things like this, okay, even though this looks really, really big and impressive, and it is, okay, but this would not be something that would, knock our power out, is what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? It's going to take something bigger than that. And that's what is kind of concerning and scary about this whole thing. If something like this can blow off the sun and it don't knock our power out, what does it take? Right? Well, like I said, a full halo would definitely, give us some issues. And, we would really have to take something right on the chin for it really to get that difficult. But it is, and I've said this 100 times, it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when that will happen. Whether or not we're here when it happens, who knows? But there is a time frame, and the odds every day it's clicking on are getting better and better for that to actually happen. So just kind of keep that in mind. Let's see here. Oh, no, you're right, Kathy. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. Kathy Mello here makes a good point. It is not Earth-facing. No sign of full halo. 100%. 100%. That's what I was trying to say. Even if this was coming right at us, that would not be a full halo. It just wouldn't, guys. It's not big enough. And I know it looks really, really big, but it's, like I said, if you were able to turn that or take this satellite over here and watch it, it just wouldn't look like that big. We can't see what's behind this occulter, right? But we can go look at other satellites and get kind of a decent idea. So what we're going to do, I'll go down here and look at stereo A, and then it'll give us the side view. So the satellite's here, the Earth is over here. I need to slow that down because it's moving fast. But what you're seeing here, and let me say this. This right here proves, and it helps people understand that we can't just look at one satellite. Okay? Because this is both of those CMEs. You guys understand that? What I'm saying is, this is showing you that both of those CMEs, we just seen it. Watch. We just seen these CMEs go off two different sides of the sun, right? Well, then why is stereo A looking over here? Why does it look like they're going the same direction? Well, it's about that point of view. The first one is blowing off at an angle right here, but it still looks like it's going directly to the side because of our perspective. The second one, which is right in here, watch, there. Okay, I'm going to pause it, and I'll try to see if I can't catch it for you guys. I'll back it up. That's the second one, okay? It looks like it's going to the right, right? It's not. It's going this way. So they're actually going like almost, probably about 110 degrees different there. So what I'm saying is, it looked like they would all, if Earth is over here, it looked like both of them from stereo A would be hitting us, but neither of them are, because one's going this way, one's going this way. So it's a really good way to show you guys that, two CMEs right there just happened to prove what we were talking about. You have to look at more than one satellite to say what direction it's going. You cannot just look at one of them, because that's the second one. Okay, there's the first one. See how it picks it up? And then as the first one exits, see that? The second one's behind it. That's the one that blew off second. So I do think that it's actually, beneficial, You asking me that? Was it no names left? None. Okay. Yeah, I do. I watch his channel. Most people do. It's yeah, I won't go into any kind of background on that, because there's some issues there, but I don't bring those out. There's no sense in bringing them out. I think, like I said before, if I showed you guys my subscriber list, some of you guys might be surprised. Matter of fact, let's just do that. Why not? And, you guys know what I've been saying, and I've said it for a long time. Here's my subscriber list. Okay? What I would say right here, first and foremost, I watch people even when I know that everything they're saying, except for just a few things, is a bunch of doo-doo. Okay? But there are a few things on every one of these channels that is actually truth. And it's up to us to kind of sift through them. Okay, so if you guys are looking down through here, I don't need to point any of them out, but you guys can take a look at these. You can see them. I don't. It's not a secret to me. I don't care to keep it a secret. It's not what it's about, right? So like I said, well, there's a suspicious observer. That's Ben's channel. Okay, a lot of truth over there. I know he doesn't like follow what I do or anything like that. Again, I don't want to strum up old stuff. He called me an idiot once. That's what happened. I never even talked to him or anything like that. Matter of fact, I was actually mentioning his channel quite often at the time. But people are allowed to have their opinions. Does it mean I'm going to stop watching? No, because I'm bigger and I'm better than that. I don't have to do any of that. I don't care. I'm going to go where the truth's at, whether or not the people there like me. That's not why I'm going to their channel. It's not a popularity contest for me. It's about getting to the truth and, trying to figure out if what I'm showing you guys is what the truth is, and if there's anything to add or take away that I need to do. And I do that by frequenting a lot of these other channels, okay? Because they do. Some of these guys, like Ben and Scott and everybody else, that have been doing this for multiple years. You can't tell me that they don't have a lot of knowledge that I don't have. And I want that knowledge, and that's why I do. I don't have to like somebody to go watch their channel, is what I'm saying. And just because somebody's in my subscriber list doesn't mean I agree with everything that they say. Matter of fact, I bet you I could scroll down through here and maybe find one channel here that I would agree with everything that they say. If that, right? All of us don't agree on everything. And what's sad is when we find out that thing that we don't agree with each other on, that becomes the main point of conversation, and it shouldn't. because we might not agree on one thing, but there's 20 other things that we do. And then we just want to bump heads. It's just crazy. Really crazy. You know? You know, and that first video I did, guys, with, well, let's just, let's do this real quick while I'm talking. We'll go over here and look at this while we're doing this, okay? When we found out that Dr. Albers was sick, and I posted Scott's link and everything to try to help her out and him, man, I got slammed. Slammed bad. And not just me, a lot of other people did in the comment section. It's stuff like that just doesn't need to happen. I don't honestly, I just don't get it. But it doesn't, even at that, I still don't, that's not going to stop me from trying to figure the truth out. You know? And that's what we're supposed to do. We can't ignore anything. And we can't always assume we have the truth, even when we think we do. Because all it takes is that one little epiphany moment to sit there and think, oh my gosh, I was wrong. You know? And that goes back to what I was saying yesterday about like the all sky cams and stuff like that. Early on in my channel, I was showing a lot of those. And then I figured out that a lot of what I was showing was nothing more than camera anomalies. And it took people with a lot more knowledge than me to point it out to me, and me to have enough of an open mind and a heart for trying to find the truth to be able to accept it when I was wrong and just change total direction. From the point I figured that out about those all sky cams, guys, you can go back and look at my channel. I stopped immediately showing those things. And to this day, nobody has ever been able to show me anything like by doing the finger test I was talking about yesterday. Anything that when they would do a finger test, every time somebody does a finger test, I've never seen not one time that object stayed there next to the sun. Not one time. So if somebody does show me a capture where they do that and that object stays there, please send it to me. Because that would be groundbreaking. Completely. It would prove everything that they think about that object. It's that simple. And there's other things that can cause lens flares too, but it sure would eliminate a lot of stuff. You know. And like I said before, guys, we've all got our phones and stuff now. And I'm not talking about any of you guys, okay? Just so you guys know. Even in real life, I've heard people say, well, I think I saw a UFO up there, and I just didn't have time to go inside and get my camera and take a picture. And you're sitting there thinking the whole time, like, what? You got your phone 24/7 right there in your hand as you're talking to me, and you can't snap a picture? Really? There's stuff like that makes you like, what? Are you kidding me? And then when you call people out on it like that, now listen, let me reframe, back up a minute here. I'm not saying that there ain't no such thing as UFOs, okay? Matter of fact, I think that there actually is. This is my opinion. But when somebody's really trying to blow smoke, or if actually somebody's trying to find the truth. You really can kind of see it really, really quick. The first thing becomes transparency. That's what I figured out. If there's so much secret of this, that, and the other, a lot of times that's just a smoke screen to try to hide what they don't want you to see. And again, like I said, these are like people from my past is what I'm talking about. Nobody like right now. It's just when I run into people like that, I've learned how to spot them pretty quick. And I'm not rude or nothing to them. I just don't go back. It's that kind of a thing. Yeah, Andy, I mean, that's another thing. It's hard to get a good pic of something like that if they're moving like they say they are. There has to be some special technology in there anyway, because of the G-force from the turns that they make during the speeds that they're traveling. It would completely rip our human bodies apart. The movements that these things make. So there has to be some sort of a technology there that's stopping that somehow. And a lot of that has to do with like anti-gravity and stuff like that. There's a lot of different theories. I'm not going to go into any of that, but I'm on the side of, yes, I think there's UFOs. Do I think everything that's odd in the sky that we see is a UFO? Absolutely not. Okay? Well, by definition, anything flying up there that we don't know what it is, it's actually unidentified, so that is a true UFO. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking like from some other world. Thanks, Awakening. I really appreciate that. I really try, guys. I really do. I and when I'm wrong, I don't even hate to be wrong. What I hate is when I can't get back out there quick enough to keep somebody else from thinking that what I just said was true. Because then that sticks with them. That's what I hate. It ain't about guys, I have no pride, just so you know. It's just non-existing for me. That's just a thing that I don't carry with me. And I had to work on that, but I got there. And, not everybody's going to get there, but I did. It's helped me out in my life so much, being able to not have any of that pride, to the point where it's helped me get jobs and helped me be able to talk to people and talk people down from certain situations. And it's helped me to interact with people and get really to what the root of the problem is for people. And I'm able to do that because I don't have that pride in the way. They can sit there and talk to me all day long, and my pride's not going to keep me from deflecting what they're saying because they might be disagreeing with what I'm saying. I want all points of it. And I want the truth to come out, and I want that to be there front and center. Forget me, forget whoever else. It's just, we got to go for the truth. If it comes out tomorrow that everything I've ever done here on my channel is completely wrong, you know what I'm going to do? In like 5 minutes, I'm going to go live and tell everybody what I just said. and then we'll change what we do. That's just what we got to do. It's not helping anybody. The only people that don't want to do that are the people that are here for the wrong reasons anyway, and all they want to do is get clicks and views. If that's the case, then go do some sort of entertainment channel. Figure something out on that. Don't just take people and steer them the wrong direction, knowingly doing so. It's ridiculous. That actually was happening to me early on in my channel. And I distanced myself from certain people because of it. They knew I was saying stuff that was wrong, but they let me continue to do it. And at some level, they even encouraged me to do it. And that's why, when people ask me about certain topics, I'll answer them, especially in emails. Like the FE conversation. Flat, not globe. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Talked about this a little bit yesterday. I'll talk about that all day long in an email. Because it's a one-on-one conversation. You start talking about that in a group setting, my gosh, man, that it all just falls apart. And so that's what I'm trying to say. But okay. Thanks, Maria. I appreciate that. Zondin. Yep. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes, Teresa, I apologize sometimes to a fault. I really do. I know I do. I don't do it intentionally, but I know I do it. And it's because I don't want people to get and grab a hold of what I said and keep it as if it's true. That's why I feel bad about that stuff, and I try to get out there. People get on me for repeating myself all the time. If I think there's a good point that needs to be hammered home, you could probably pretty much bet I'm going to say it 10 times in that video. Or if it's something that I'm trying to say, hey, what I said a minute ago was wrong, I'll probably repeat it 4 or 5 times just so everybody understands. That's just my, that's just my personality, I guess. I don't really mean to do that. It just happens. And I know it eats up people's time, and I know I sound ridiculous sometimes, like a broken record, but at least I'm out there doing that, and I care enough that I need to say it, So, back to this. Let's refresh that and see what we get. Okay, solar X-ray flux. Nothing really much going on there. Here, look at this ACE data again, guys. Look, 310 to 370. Well, they're keeping this thing at like a 60-degree range. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate that. So, yeah. Black 'em. Yeah, that's, yeah. Bob Dobbs, yeah, your bipolar was intense today. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. Let me show you guys something real quick. This happened to me earlier today. Okay, here's the Schumann link, right? Watch. Maybe, unless they fixed it. Yeah, it's not going to load. Now, I know that there are other sites we can go to, but the one I go to all the time is not. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that, man. Drew, good to see you here. So, yeah. That's the Schumann. Where'd it go? Oh, gosh. Anyway, what we'll do because of that, we will, let me do this real quick with you. I'm going to go over here to Mr. MBB3's page. Okay, this is his website, right? Yeah, hey, Verte, can you drop a link in the chat there? And I'll click over to it. Maybe we'll go check it out. But if you go over here to this website, guys, you can go over here to where it says Schumann Resonance. You click on it. It takes you to that site I go to all the time. But I want to give Mr. MBB3 his due credit here. He's put together a pretty good web page here, guys. It's pretty awesome. Again, I would encourage everybody to go over here and check this out. I mean, you can go watch the ISS live feed. Let's just do it. Watch. Okay, it looks like the feed's down. Oh, you want to see that real quick? Yeah, I can do that for you. Canadian cat. That would be right here. See this right here? This is the Enzo model, guys. I've been showing this a lot lately. We're right here in time. Okay? Right about here. So within the next 5-6 hours, we should be starting to peak up towards 700 kilometers per second. That's what this Enlo model's telling us. Okay? And it was correct about this up here. So, I have no reason to doubt that this isn't correct either. Now, if you guys look at this range here. 4 to 800. Here in the past few, probably 6 months, it's been hanging between like 3 and 500. So this range is even higher. Thanks, Reese. I appreciate that. Jamie Jones, good to see you. Yeah, Canadian Cat. I mean, that's where you guys can find this, okay? Yeah, that's like I said. Sometimes I think that that those links go down for some reason, but I think sometimes I have to go in there and I'll have to clean my cookies out. Sometimes that is what the problem is. Other times I'll go in a different way, and when I get there, I'll copy the URL and I'll make it a link, and then it continues to work after that. I don't know why, but that happens sometimes. So now let's show you guys this real quick. Again, check this out. Now I want you guys to read this real quick, okay? Aurora surprise. Auroras were not in the forecast for October 5th. We headed out with a small tour group with rather low expectations, says Marcus Varick of Norway, okay? Little did we know we were about to get completely blown away. This is what they saw. Now, can you guys remember anybody on YouTube talking about, any kind of solar weather on the 5th? I think that guy, what was his name? Wages World was talking about that. I can't remember, but maybe he was talking about that. I didn't see anybody else talking about it, but I seen. I'm just kidding, guys. But seriously though, that's exactly what happened. Nobody was talking about this. Okay? Nobody was showing you guys this. Because this right here, this hump right here, was on the 5th. Look. That's the one that I told you guys was coming, and that's why our geoelectric field, geoelectric activity went up. Okay? Remember me telling you guys about that. Let's move the chat back over here. Okay? Right here. That's when that happened. That's when they seen that aurora, right here on the 5th. So, that's what I'm trying to say, guys. I never quite understand that I don't know. I guess I just don't put myself up there in the level that a lot of these guys are, and nobody was talking about that, and it really puzzled me. And I even said it like 4 or 5 times during a couple different live streams, because like I said before, I don't trust this Enlil graph out 5 days. This hump was here 5 days out, right? So the model's seen something. But like I said, majority of the time that data will change, and they'll end up changing the whole thing, right? By the time it gets to us right here. But this thing hung in there, like right here, here. And then when it got about here, I started telling you guys, listen, that thing's 3 days out, and it stayed the same. So chances are, that's probably the conditions we're going to experience. And sure enough, it did. And again, I'm not tooting my own horn on that at all. What my concern there is, why wasn't anybody else even talking about that? It just didn't make, it really kind of, I just didn't understand it, Scott would have been talking about it, but he hasn't been doing videos because he's trying to do a whole lot of other stuff to get his life in check, He's got other stuff he's trying to take care of, like a job and his wife and all the stuff he's got going on. Me and Scott talked about that a few times through Messenger and through text. We stay in contact, even when stuff's going on in our lives. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys this other magnetosphere model too real quick too, because this is actually our conditions right now. And this is going to show you guys that stuff is actually popping. Okay? Again, it's nothing like way out of the ordinary, but this is the velocity map, okay? And it's not bouncing around right now. Now remember, the lighter colors is the slower wind speed, right? And, if we got our bow shock out here, anything inside our bow shock is pretty much, it's our magnetopause, and it's kind of, all this stuff back here is susceptible to less conditions that are out here because we're blocking some of it. So, things happen back here that look kind of odd. Now, what we're seeing there really isn't, other than the fact that, watch, well, it went too far. But that's just the velocity. Now the density thing here, I want to show you guys something. Look at this. I noticed this earlier. That's a circle patch of highly dense charged particles. And look what happens there. You guys see that? What happened there is that it got flushed out. So something picked up those particles and flushed them on out. Now wait until I show you the one going on over here on the left. Okay? I hid that for a reason. So you guys wouldn't look at this part yet. Look at that. Now, I want somebody to tell me in the chat if they have ever seen this particular model look like that. I have never seen that. Ever. It's really strange. Okay? Yeah, it really is. It's completely strange. But again, what's this telling us? Well, it's telling us that this is directional. Something's happening. Look at that. I mean, it's like and then it shoots out, and then yeah. And if you remember yesterday, now see, did you see that? It kind of tried to go and connect back, but then it got pushed by something. And again, what we're looking at here is density. We're not looking at speed or intensity or pressure or anything. We're looking at the density of the particles. So it's more dense where it's dark. And, it's just extremely odd. And when I seen this in the middle of this, that's really what, I know this over here on the left looks crazy, but, yeah, this is even more crazy to me. Okay? That little pocket of dense material, or dense particles, yeah. So if we get down here and look at the pressure, I noticed something here too a little while ago. If you look at this, we always have this initial, it's not our bow shock, it's really our magnetic field. It's about the beginning of it. And the bow shock's out in front of that right here, right? It's our first line of defense. But I noticed, see this yellow? It'll turn kind of a white color, and then it kind of goes away. I'm not really sure what to make of that yet. And then it does come back, okay? But it did do that for a minute. It just was really kind of strange. This is the pressure map, guys. That's what this is showing us. This pressure. And again, you got less pressure up here on the same side as this thing was getting kind of weird looking. Looks like a J, or a backwards J anyway, maybe an L. I don't know. Please look at Florida shortwave. We can do that if you guys want to do that. Let's just X out of that kind of stuff first. I'm going to keep space weather up there, and we'll keep seeds up there too. So what did you guys want to go see here? Okay, yeah. I forgot. Sorry. Shortwave IR over on Florida. Is that what was asked there? We can do that. Let's go sub-regional, and this is Florida. Okay. Not really seeing a whole lot there, guys. Somebody tell me what I'm looking at. I'm not seeing any hot spots or anything like that. But zoom in on the lake. Lake Okeechobee right here? Okay. Well, I can't. Well, let's do this. Maybe I can go local here. Maybe this one. Okay, I seen what you're talking about there. Yeah. Hey, good one, Lurk. Anybody point that out to you, or was that your find? I know exactly what he said. I'm going to pause it when he gets there. Okay, what he's talking about is we're getting these increased temperature signatures again. Watch. See those? That's increased temperature. Good job, bud. Good job. That's yeah, we know that those aren't fires, guys. That's a lake. Good find, man. And look, it even spreads out. I guess we could go to yeah, good find, man. Very good find, Lurk. That's yeah, I seen that, Zon, or whatever your name is, Zonin. Those gravity waves, those were pretty cool. Those are explainable, just like he explained them. Mr. MBB3 did. You guys should go watch that video. It's pretty cool. It looks like cloud formations that should never ever be possible, but it happens. Lurk, I can't tell you how good of a find that is, man. You got a channel? I live on the east side of the lake, so I checked. Okay, so you're living on this side. Have you noticed anything? Like in your... Well, there, look, guys. Hey, Lurk, there's one on the east side. You might not have seen it. Right there. It's only there for a second, guys. Okay? That doesn't mean stuff ain't going on. Now, let me say this too. Dutch was on, okay, earlier. And after he did his video about these signatures, the USGS came out and was trying to tell everybody there was some sort of a crazy anomaly, mistake type of thing, right? Some crazy explanation. And what's happening is Dutch is in their head. Okay? Those guys watch him. I promise you, they have a team of people that are assigned to watch him and what he's saying and doing. When you gather that kind of attention, wow, you know what I mean? That means that you're not just over the target, you're hitting it. And, at some level, none of us really want to, have those bad things happen. But when they do, it's confirming to us that we're actually on target, what we're talking about. They would not mess with people that were completely off the target. Okay? So if you're even close to the target, they're going to be on you. And that's exactly what we've experienced. I've experienced it myself. Okay? There's certain videos of mine that I thought when I would post them, that they would be just banger videos, man. I'm talking like, man, that was a really good one. I felt really good about that one. And then it would turn out to be like one of my worst viewed videos. Yeah, Taylor, he never does it intentionally, but if we take in consideration what he's actually trying to tell us, and just like here on my channel, I don't, what'd you say there? I also caught an original beam from the Cali fire. You did? Wow. My email is bluecool52@gmail. I can put it down here in the chat. If you want to send that over to me, you can. If you send it over, like here in the next couple minutes, I guess I could upload it and we could take a look at it. If you wanted to. It's up to you. But yeah. You never did say, did you have a channel lurk? I didn't see. Isaiah Granny, good to see you here. Andy S. Good to see you. Yeah, birthday. I think I agree with that. Really, Missy. Wow. Yeah, Sparky. For sure. Okay. Hey, if you want to, that's okay, Lurk. Is it on your Instagram? You can post that link there in the chat, I think. I don't think I got that turned off where you guys can't do that. I know my mods can, post links, but I think I left it on because I was going to leave the links on for everybody just in case, unless we started having issues. But Noble Row, man, okay, well, to each his own, I guess. He says, I like poop. Okay. I want to see what it's doing. Yeah. What you want to see, Jamie? Let me go back up here and see if I can't catch your other. Okay. Somebody asked to see what was going on in Tennessee. Okay. Let me, I'll tell you what. Let's just go do that real quick. Let's go regional. That's kind of too broad. I don't like that view. How about that? Let's do that one. Move the chat up here. Oh, wow. I don't. Guys, it happened again. Oh, you're welcome. Blickum. Guys, it is, well, thanks, Canadian Cat. I appreciate that. Is Mark Pyers in here? Hey, Mark, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Guys, you guys got to go check him out. Anybody that ain't over there yet? Hey, Mark, hold on a minute here. I added you as a moderator. If you want, go ahead and post a link to your channel and even to your D Live, okay? Guys, we need to help Mark out a little bit over on D Live. If anybody doesn't have a D Live account, just click Mark's link and please go over there and do that. It's only take a couple seconds to sign up and get your account going. It doesn't cost any money. It's all free and all that. Most of us know that, but we need to get him up to 200 over on D Live so he can open up all of his stuff. Okay, thanks, Lurk. I'll go check it out on my phone while I'm doing this, while we're looking at this. But yeah, there it is, guys. There's his D Live link. You can post your YouTube channel too if you want, Mark. That way is what that way everybody's got it. Hey man, back at you, Mark. I guarantee you, we're getting more from you than man. I know I am. Okay, let's guys. What I was noticing here first, before we get off subject, right here. This is today. This is the 6th at 1900 UTC. This is just a few hours ago. This showed up yesterday too. So this is now 2 days of the same kind of event. Look at all those. Now, I'm going to take you guys over to USGS here in a minute, and you're going to see a swarm of earthquakes that happened right here. And you're actually going to see one that is up here in Pennsylvania, believe it or not. There was it a 3-1 or a 2-9 or something that popped off there a few minutes ago. I'll take you guys over and see it. But as far as Tennessee, who was asking Tennessee? I apologize. But yeah, guys, every time you see that, this is shortwave infrared, okay? So this is purely looking at shortwave heat, pretty much. It's in the infrared spectrum. Our eyes cannot see it. So it's picking up heat, is what it's picking up. Now, what these are usually used for is like detecting like forest fires. If you guys remember out in California when all that stuff was going on out there, this is the exact view we were looking at. And it would show us where the hot spots were. So why are we getting these hot spots that come and go in such a quick time, number one? Number two, in such a weird area. These are not controlled farm burns. These are not, anything other than what we think they are, in my opinion. What could be causing this? Well, if you guys go watch Dutch's, it's the New Madrid Fault, guys. That's where the New Madrid Fault line is. But yeah, it's one of those things that, cool, Mark, I'm glad you're in here, man. But you got this going on right here, guys, and we got earthquakes in the same spot. The North American Craton. You guys really need to go watch Dutch's video if you haven't seen it. All this stuff is happening right on the edge of this plate, okay, the Craton. Which means that most likely the magma is moving underneath the plate and the plate's moving itself. Okay, it's like a slow slip. We talk about that a lot when we're talking about like the Cascadia subduction zone out off the coast of Canada and Washington and Oregon. We all know that once that Cascadia subduction zone slips, the term beachfront property in Arizona becomes a reality. The whole West Coast will be gone. And it's unfortunate and it sucks to even talk about stuff like that, but that is the truth. That's what would happen if that was to slip. And again, guys, I have to say this. It's not a matter of if, guys. It is really, truly a matter of when. Those things will happen. Now, will it happen in our lifetime? Who knows? Hey, Ricky, good to see you. I know you probably were watching, you probably watched Dutch earlier, right? I was just showing everybody here that we're getting those heat signatures again. Look at that. That's even a little bit more intense than it was yesterday. I'm not sure, Ricky, if you can chime in on that if you want. I don't really know, what that actually kind of means for us right now. But that is a lot. That's more than we seen yesterday. This is on the 6th, okay? At 20, which would be about 6 hours ago. So, this is just now going on. It's still going on. So, what I'm going to do, let's see if we see it here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ricky. Also, Lurk, here in the chat, Ricky, we found some, he found some hot spots around Lake Okeechobee in Florida. I'll show it to you guys here in a minute again. Okay, I'm seeing it a little bit in other places too, guys. Okay, you guys seeing these black? Just follow my cursor. See where these black dots are? They're just peppered all over here, even over here in Mississippi and Alabama. Watch. See that? Look at that one pop up. That's a big one. Yeah, frequency. He does. I'll check my email here in just a second. Lurk, give me a couple minutes here, okay? But yeah, I mean, look at all those popping up right there. Wow. And watch when I rock it back and forth. It's almost like blinking right in here. Look at that. It's like a pinball machine. Wow. And let's keep in mind, guys, like I said, it's going around the edge of the craton. So I really truly think Dutch is onto something big there, guys. I'm all about it, you know. Again, we could all be wrong, but there's another one there. We're seeing a bunch of them. Now, let me say this too. I'm not sure if Ricky and anybody else that watches Dutch, if they were ever over there and seen what Dutch was talking about. You know, the USGS came out with some BS excuse on this today. They've been, they're paying attention to what he's saying. What would break off of the East Coast? Mark, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the North American craton, but it's the biggest plate that's going on there. I tell you what we could do. It would be good for everybody to see this anyway. Let's do this real quick. Well, it's probably already there because I actually just searched it a little while ago. This right here, guys, is the North American craton. Yeah, continue as ways his world. What the heck? Anyway. No, I don't want to. What do I do? Push some stupid. Oh, that's Pinterest. I don't want that. What a crazy idiot I am. Okay. Yeah, USBS. That was funny. What do I think it is? I'm on board with Dutch here, guys. This is a North American craton. Okay, this is the big plate here that he talks about a lot. If you follow this, you can see where those hot spots were running right around the edge of these. It was even going up the East Coast here. Now, you got the boundary lines here. I think it's actually more this way. This one here really isn't. I'm not sure if it's an exact representation. But that is it's continental crust that has remained relatively stable for the past 600 million years. Stick that one in your pipe. Smoke that thing. Now, listen, if that thing is starting to move now after 600 million years, wow. Yeah, watch woman. I think that, that's been a conversation since I was kind of young. And we all know that if the New Madrid does go, obviously it's going to be a big deal. They say it would be bigger than what would happen, if the San Andreas was to have another big one. When did Fiji have a 7-0, Bob? Yeah, Ricky, you're right. I'm glad you said that. She's talking about that, this has all been under pressure for, 2 years. Good to see you, Johnny Doom. Amanda B, I have been inquiring. What you been inquiring about, Amanda B? Anything I can help you with? Let's go over to USGS, guys, okay? Let me pull this down a little bit. Let's go check that out, because if we're getting earthquakes and stuff, remember I said I was going to take you guys over here anyway, but if there's a 7-0 in Fiji just a few minutes ago, but let me show you this. Okay, you see how we got an earthquake right there? What is that? That's Missouri, I think. Let's go 7 days. That's 7 days, all magnitudes. Okay? So somebody tell me why we're having swarms right here where... Look, guys. This is exactly where that intense heat signature was showing up. So somebody tell me how that could not be related. So you got that going on right there. And then up here in Pennsylvania, I think that's up near Scott. I actually messaged him a few minutes ago. And, yeah. Hey, Gabriella, it's okay if you take a shot at me or whatever. That doesn't bother me. But please don't spam my chat. Okay? You know, we've already talked about that right there. That's okay if you think I'm imagining things. You're welcome to stay and all that. But, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, that's, you know, it's okay. I mean, like I said, guys, I got thick skin, but I don't often push people towards channels that, oh yeah, that's fine. I won't push people towards channels that are gonna like stoop so low as to call people names and stuff like that. Like when I've never even talked to him ever. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. He called me an idiot one time, but it is what it is. I've been called a lot worse, that's for sure. And I probably am in some sort of way anyway, but hey Lurk, I'm gonna try to find your email here real quick, okay, bud? That way I can I want to be able to show everybody that beam you caught. Let's see, let me get to... What do you guys want to look at here while I'm looking up this email? Sparky, you're killing me. That's awesome. I think that, I mean, look at that. That is exactly where all that was happening. Let's go back up there and I'll show it to you one more time. Look how I rock that back and forth. Look what this is doing. Okay? So keep in mind right where that's at. Now let's look at the earthquakes. Yeah. I mean, it's like right there. There's no question. No question at all. I bet you if we went to the like, pinpoint this down, I bet it would line up almost exactly where some of those points were. I mean, I'll just toggle back and forth here for a second. Here. Okay, here's the little appendage of Missouri, right? Right here. You see how we got all that happening right there in that area. Now let's go look where the earthquakes are at. Here's the little appendage, and look where all the stuff is happening. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Lurk, I didn't get your email, bud. I was just looking for it. It's not there yet. I'm not sure if you have a link that you could show somebody. Lurk, you can drop it in there if you need to. But yeah, I'm not seeing it on my email. It's bluecool52 at gmail.com. Yeah, so you know what? Maybe I haven't looked at my spam folder. Let me look at my spam. Sometimes it goes there. I'll look real quick. Yeah, I don't even have nothing in my spam folder. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I don't have it, man. So yeah, if you might try to resend it and see if it comes or not. I'll try to look for it again here in a minute. But yeah, so look, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. So, what I will do though, we were talking about earthquake over here, big one in Fiji, right? Did that pan out to be something or not? There's a 6-0 in Papua New Guinea. That was a 6 in Fiji. Okay. Yeah. Yep. We got about 320 of us in here. So yeah. Not really sure, but yep. So we got earthquakes popping. Popping. Let's change this filter here, get rid of some of this stuff. Let's just go. That's 2.5. I don't like that. Let's go 1 day all magnitude. Okay, this is all the stuff that's happened today. All magnitudes. Yeah, there was a 6-0 in Fiji. Yeah, for sure. But you guys can see, and I only point this out because, you know, it's that I know it's not like a specific swarm, but the whole West Coast. Okay, we get this activity, but look, nothing's going on in Canada. Then we get back up here to Alaska. Look what's going on. Right now we had that one there. That was like a 5. Yeah, that was the 5.9. That's the one last night, guys. We were on. And remember, they took it off because they had to redo it. But you know what's kind of odd about that one? Is that when they put it back on, they actually upgraded it. It came in as a 5.8. They downgraded it to a 5.6. And then after a few hours, they put it back on. Oh, okay. I'll check it out, Lurk. Yeah, that's, yeah. That'll do it. That's for sure. Yeah, Ricky said it right there, guys. Quiet isn't necessarily good. What we want, and I talk about this a lot when we're talking about this right here. Geomagnetic activity, okay? We want to be in the middle. So that's kind of the same thing Ricky's saying there. We need to have some release of energy there, but we don't want it to be the big stuff. So if we get a constant release of small stuff, that's a lot better for us, right? So that's exactly what Ricky's saying there, I think. And I 100% agree. If that's when, if you watch all the earthquake people that predict all this stuff all the time, that's when they start getting worried. Because when we look at this map, like what we're looking at here, if I took that down to, let's just go 2.5 and above here, you see how we got these. Now, if we're looking at this, and then all of a sudden there's only one or two for a couple of days, you can probably bet your britches that something big's going to pop. That's usually what happens. Hey, what's up, Scott? Yeah, man, we got some crazy stuff going on, man. Let me show, Scott's just getting here. I'm going to show him what we were just talking about because, let's go one day all magnitude. Check this out, man. Scott, if you haven't seen Dutch's last video, I'm not sure if you did or not. But again, we were talking about those hot spots. But check this out. We got, let's go 7 days. These earthquakes right here. Now I'm going to go all, 2.5. Let's go all magnitudes. Let's go 7 days, 2.5. Okay, you see where all these earthquakes are? If anybody just coming in, check this out. Here's these earthquakes, right? Well, why 2 days in a row, same exact area? This is the shortwave IR, okay? You're seeing, look at that. Exact same place. This is the highest concentration of these heat signatures. It is no coincidence that the earthquakes are happening in the same spot. No problem, Lurk. I'll check it out here in just a second. Yeah, you know what, Ricky? I had a strange headache today myself. It's not normal for me to get those kinds of things. Hey, good to see you, Alfred. So, guys, this is something that, Ricky, Ricky, I'm sorry I put you on the spot here sometimes, but I've been leaning on you a lot for a lot of this knowledge here. You're really up on that, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate what you contribute here because it does help me, it backs, when I say something and I ask you and you agree, it builds my confidence on what I'm saying, and it kind of confirms what's going on. So I appreciate that. But you got the heat signatures here, and then we get the earthquake, same spot. Right along the American Craton. Okay? It's not a coincidence, guys. Dutch has been talking about this for a long time. And, now we're starting to see these heat signatures. I think this is something new that's getting added to it. So, yeah, guys, Ricky has sent me stuff in email to send me over to emergency management, and I forget the last part of that guy's YouTube channel name, but it's a good channel. Everybody should go check him out because he puts a lot of work in too. And but yeah. Okay, let me look for it now. I was just waiting, giving it a few minutes here. Sometimes it's weird. Okay, I think I got it now. Hold on a minute. Let's oh wow. Where's that at, Lurk? What part of the country is that in? I missed that part of it. Okay. Southern California? I know Dutch was showing a couple of those. Is it similar? Is it similar to that? The global pole shift? No, Alfred, that wouldn't be affecting the sun. It might be believe it or not, it might be a little bit of that, the opposite effect. Um, the sun could be affecting us, causing ours to speed up or slow down, but most likely not. We have to understand that yes, the sun affects our magnetic field and all that, but really what is causing the biggest reactions and stuff, and our most of our protection comes from the core of our planet producing our magnetic field. And we can't just assume that it's constant, because it's not. We get cracks in our magnetic field from bunches of different reasons. We get it fluctuates on how much it's actually, how powerful it is to fend stuff off. Okay, cool. Let me yeah, I got a screenshot of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna upload it to my photos. Okay, that way we can take a look at it. Give me a second here, guys. I'm sorry I got kind of quiet there, but I want to get this. Lurk sent this over to us. We're going to check it out. Okay. Yeah, Verte, you hit it right on the head, brother. Let's okay. Now what we can do, so we can check out Lurk's capture here. Where's my, there it is. Okay, guys, there you go. Did you guys see that? That's Lurk's pick. Okay, it's the same night Dutch was catching them. You see that little gray area right there? That's a forest fire in California, Southern California. So that right there is, yeah, we'll call it a WED. WED instead of, if you guys reverse those letters, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's the beam system that we talk about, that could be weaponized, that kind of a thing. That, it's not a coincidence when these things come down like this and they hit right where a forest fire is. Okay, I will here in just a minute, Scott. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Actually, before we even do that one, that's a good pick, Lurk. Thank you for sending that over to me, man. I'll keep that one in my files there, and we'll reference back to that. Let me, goodness. Let's do that. And then I'm going to show everybody this one. I don't care. Just whatever. Just open this stupid thing. Okay. So, what are we looking at, right? Well, looky there, guys. That's from the other day. That's from the 5th. So, yeah. That's pretty crazy. So, yeah, Scott, guys, we had that CME pop off earlier, and Scott was running it through his software. I'm going to upload those photos he just sent to me. Yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, every time anymore, Scott. Every time. Wow. That is nuts. Let me, yeah. I will have to, let's, upload those to my photos, my Google Photos here. And that way we can get to them. Sorry I got quiet here, guys. I apologize for that. That's, yeah, I don't like dead quiet there either. Yeah, guys. I got the other one too. You guys want to see the other one here? Let's do that real quick. This one might be able to see better. Let's look at that, guys. Now, listen. Look at this. We talk about a whole system coming in, right? What does that look like? Wow. And this is from the 5th. This isn't what wait till I show you these ones he just sent me. Yeah. These are, wow. Good ones, man. Good ones. Yeah, I mean, look at that, guys. I think that's one of the better captures we've had that are actually representing more than just, a large object with, littler ones following with it. So what I can say, delete me, good one. What I can say about that is that not only can this bigger object cause the sun to react, but any of these things can. Now, it might not be a big one, but it could be. Sometimes the sun just needs that little extra, attention to really get it to pop. And, and let a big one go, It's kind of like eating beans. Yeah, eat too many of those, you're ready to explode, right? Okay. So, let's go back over here to photos real quick. I'm going to put that in here. Give me a second here, guys. I want to get some of this off my... Just cancel it. Who cares? All right. Let's go back to my Google Photos here. Wow. Guys, this is the one that just the CMEs I was just showing you. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, dear Lord. That's right, Jamie. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, Scott, put a link in there to your channel, man. People are asking for it, bud. Yeah. Whoa, man. Hey, Scott, you said you just woke up? Let me show you something real quick. Did you feel that? That just happened a few hours ago, in case you didn't know it, man. I'm not sure how close you actually are to that one, but yeah. There's a 2.9. Then Bolivar, I guess, if you want to say that. Yeah, Aaron, I did. We've been kind of talking about that a little bit. I was, and I'll go back and show this again because this is important. Because, was you? Yeah. It wasn't a big one, but that is kind of close to where you're at, isn't it? You know, at least in that general region. I ain't trying to dox you or nothing. Everybody knows you live in Pennsylvania. That's the only reason why I said it. But just to kind of catch people up, here is right here in this area here, guys. Dutch was talking about this, and that's the heat signature. Watch. Okay, it's like a Christmas tree. It really is. I mean, my gosh. Those are not controlled burns. They're not nothing like that. The farms aren't on fire. Dutch proved that. So that's, yeah. This is 2 days in a row now we're seeing these heat signatures. And they're showing up on the IR. And now we are now getting earthquakes in the same exact area. So, with that being said, nobody. And I mean nobody is going to tell me that ain't related. There you go, brother. All about it, man. There you go. So yeah. Yeah, let me go back to those pictures Scott just sent. I do want to, he's got a couple more here, okay? Actually, we're going to go that direction. Wow. Yeah. Man. Look at that, Scott. I'm sure you noticed that. This signature here, it ain't the same, but it's very similar to the one the other day that we caught, that big huge one, remember? Yeah, I know. Ain't that crazy? Ricky, it just, at this point, guys, like I said, me and Scott and whoever else is showing these kinds of things don't even need to say anything anymore. The observation just completely says it. It just really does. It's BlueCoal52, guys, at Gmail. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's definitely something that's, at this point, it's almost undeniable something's going on. And, again, there's just not much to say on this because it just simply speaks for itself. You know, you go for something like that, and then you go to the other side of the sun. Well, there's Lurk's picture. Okay. That's my thumbnail. You go for something like that, right? So we'll go to the other side of the sun. What do we get? Well, we get that capture I just showed you guys a few minutes ago. Where's it at? I know I put it in there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you're on the other side of the sun. You're getting the object with the other objects hanging around for it. So it's, yeah. At this point, I don't even question whether or not it's real or not. I just question how many things are we going to see and what's it going to actually cause the sun to do. Because we are definitely, definitely seeing things here, guys, that just simple as I can put it, that we shouldn't be seeing this stuff. That is not something that, I don't know. Good to see you, Angel. Della, glad you're still here. I think you probably, guys, Mark was in here a little while ago. He did his live stream earlier. I was in there for a minute. A lot of times, guys, when I go to channels like that, I've been commenting a lot over on Mark's channel because we've been having a really good time. But sometimes, like if I'm modding for Scott, I don't really say much. And the reason being is because I want people to pay attention and respect his time. Because sometimes when those of us that run channels, we comment, the chat will just like focus on that. And that's not what I wanted. So that's sometimes when Mark's talking about stuff over there, Scott, or whoever else I'm, watching. Sometimes I'm there, I just don't say anything. And that's why. So, yeah. Birthday, what I say to stuff like that, like what you're saying there, is I don't, for no way, not for 1 second, do I just discount anything. I think that absolutely everything's possible. But that is what it is. Not a whole lot of people can grab a hold of what we're doing here. And let me say this. More and more people are. And I think it's because of the way that those of us that have been around for a minute, we've actually figured out how to put it out there in a way that is not so abrasive. Scott's been doing a really good job with that. I've been, sharing stuff here. Instead of just like smacking people on the head with it, we're putting it out there, letting the observation speak for itself, and it does its own thing. And that's exactly what I think sometimes we were lacking before this, because we got so much pushback for a very long time, and we still do, okay? But we just learned how to handle it. And, that pushback caused a lot of us to push back even harder. And that wasn't working. So when we kind of step it down just a little bit, more people, are more susceptible to listen to somebody that isn't just, like a door-to-door salesman type of thing. Pressure, 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 that kind of thing, right? That works for a while, and it works in certain situations, but not always. I can tell you this, when somebody's doing that to me, I completely shut down. And anything that they're saying to me, sometimes I don't even hear what they're saying. It'll go in one ear, right out the other. But, Yeah, written, I would caution that and let me explain. I kind of talked about this a few days ago. I think that it's being blown and being used as a tool, but it's not fake. Okay, there's a real thing going on there. I know people that's had it. I know people that got sick. My son works at a hospital. He sees it every day. So I know that it's not fake. Now, do I think that it's being blown out of proportion and not being handled the correct way? Yes, I agree with that. Okay, because I do. We just really have to, just kind of come back down and understand that something is there, but we need to understand that what it actually is, and not just something that people are going to freak out. You know what I mean? Yeah, Scott, you're right there, man. That's 100%. Yeah, I really agree with you there, Ricky. That's just my opinion. And not everybody, people can have a different opinion, guys. I'm not ever, ever going to, try to change somebody's mind or get on somebody for having a different opinion than me. Just ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Now, if somebody's trying to shove things in my throat, then I'm definitely gonna have to have some sort of a verification or some sort of evidence for me to even consider what you're saying. But if you're just like presenting it to me and it's in a respectful way, there you go. That's good to hear, Scott. I mean, she's getting her first therapy. I mean, it's got to happen. I mean, there's no question. So, and guys, I have to say, once again, you guys are stepping up. You guys are helping, and I know Scott is very, very grateful, and me too. And I said this before: when you help him, you're helping me because he's my friend, and so it does. It's helping me feel better about a situation because of what he's going through. So I do appreciate it. I really do. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's, we can never, ever say it enough, because and Scott will probably agree with this, it's truly humbling. When you see people give like they do sometimes, when they don't even, we've never physically even shook hands or said, hey, any of that. Yeah, Deborah, that hospital thing, it's not conventional medicine. That's the issue. The only thing that fixes it is something that isn't like what they would consider a pharmaceutical. And that's why that's the issue. That's the biggest issue, I think. Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. I don't think I am, though. But the thing that fixes those kinds of things are, treatments that they have to go through. Yeah, chelation. But the medicines that they use isn't like, it's not, I think the way I understood it, it's not like approved by some big pharmaceutical companies and stuff. So it's not pushed. And so, like, getting into, like, a hospital wouldn't do her any good. She needs to go for the treatment and then, come home. There's nothing there at the hospital. There's really not much they can do. Except for, like, she's getting really, really sick. Maybe try to help keep her comfortable with, like, anti-nausea medicine. Big dog stuff. But yeah, Angels. You know what, guys? I've had my gallbladder removed. My wife's having hers removed next week, and everybody is, their story's different. It's really strange. But for me, it was like a flip of a switch. I can immediately start eating again. Yeah, I thought that's what it was, Scott. You know, so going to the hospital and trying to get admitted to the hospital wouldn't do any good, even if you planned on not paying the bill. It's just not, they're not going to be able to treat her there, not with what she needs. And yeah, Deborah, you were talking about going to Mexico and stuff. Yes, but those things are like, man, that's some dicey stuff when you start doing stuff like that. I know that that has worked for a lot of people, but man, that'd be hard for me to. Yeah, Watchwoman. Scott, drop that link in there, okay? She just asked for the link for the donations. Oh, is that right, Johnny? How'd she do? Yeah, PCM just hit it right on the head. Oh man, Scott, read that up there. Read PCM's last comment there. That's exactly it's like she was reading your mind, man. That's exactly what you told me the other day. Oh goodness. Sorry guys, I got to grab a pop. All right, I'm back. Yeah. See you later, April. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, guys, I mean, that stuff is that's some hard stuff to go through. That is that's what you're seeing there, Krusty. That is a CME that popped off, and Scott ran it through his software, and that's what showed up. So yeah, you guys are awesome that you guys care so much. It really it humbles me all the time, and I know it does Scott too. We've had multiple conversations. It's just yeah. Okay, Alfred, I'll check it out here in a few minutes. No, not Earth facing. That's not coming at us, guys. Okay? But it's a pretty substantial one. You know what, guys? That's another thing. No, Angel, it's not coming here. Oh, finally it updated. About time. It finally updated. There you go. What do you know about that? That's at CME. Earth is over here, guys. This CME is like nowhere close to us. It doesn't surprise me that Venus is hanging out over there, though. The sun reacts to Venus quite a lot, guys. Venus is pretty volatile. Della, maybe. I mean, what are you blocked on, menacing muskrat? What are you talking about? Let me know there, missing. You're not talking about being blocked here, are you? You're there. Yeah. Venus can be, is really kind of, yeah. 2 CMEs. Yep. Hawkins, we'll go check that out again. Let me, Yep, Awakening just hit it right on the thing. You know, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't think you have Granny. I think you might be talking about like being blocked on another like one of these tool sites. I ain't never blocked Menacing. He's been here for a while. Huh? So let's for people that just kind of came in here, let's check out these CMEs, okay, guys? Let me get up here. So, who was asking about that? What is a CME? It's a coronal mass ejection, Jim. A coronal mass ejection is plasma being ejected from the sun. Oh, sorry, Menacing. Didn't know. I'm sorry. Or I might have known. I might have forgot. I apologize. Sorry. Guys, Menacing Muskrat is a she. So, yeah. But to answer that, it's called a coronal mass ejection. And what it is the sun will do to certain things and it sometimes ejects plasma. Typically, there's a solar flare there too, Jim Bob. Or Jim Boda Pimp. Aaron, I love that statement right there so much, it's kind of crazy. Anyone who says our sun is asleep is not paying attention. That's right. Now, hey, Nita, good to see you. Vibrant Love, all up in here. That's right. Yeah, that might be true, Vibrant. Yeah. Menacing, I don't think you're blocked here. I mean, she's showing up here, guys, isn't she? I mean, she's showing up to me. I don't think she... Yeah, no kidding, Ricky. She's awake, man. Check this out. I mean, nothing's coming at Earth, and it hasn't been coming at Earth very much lately for, like, past few months. But we are getting ejections all around the other parts of the sun. So, yeah. So, do you believe in every 12,000 year solar flare that wipes everything out? There's a lot of theory, and there's actually a lot of evidence to back what you just said right there. But I'm not so sure that it's just that. We do have a catastrophe cycle that we do go through. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's like, planet ending. Oh, is it moving too? Okay. Thanks, Menacing, for that. Actually, I don't have a link for that. Menacing, do you have a link for that site? If you do, would you please post it there? I'll save the link. That way we can look at it in the future. That would be awesome. For people that just popped in here, guys, if you hear Ricky talking about earthquake stuff, yeah, you might want to pay attention. She knows what she's talking about. Yeah, Andy. I mean, there's a lot of there. I mean, you're talking about something. There's a lot of evidence for. Again, I don't know if we could ever just like pinpoint a specific like year for a cataclysm, but I guarantee you there's a window that we go through. Now, there's a lot of theories. Right now, they're figuring out that some of these stars that are in line with like the galactic core, something's like coming this way. It's like a current sheet that's coming this way. Some of the stars that are in line with us with the galactic core are actually having some issues as this thing's moving closer to us. Now, we're never ever going to see it get here. We're talking, I can't remember how many thousands of light years away it was, but that's what they're seeing. So, yeah, I think that at some level there is yeah. Did you drop a link? I didn't see it. Menacing, I mean, okay. Can you drop a link to that Canadian site for me there in the chat? I'd love to save it. I'm sure I could find it. What's it called? Is it just Canadian Earthquake something or another? Cool. 1H, good to see you. What do you want to see real quick? I might be able to show it to you if you need to see something real quick. Yeah, Russ. Dutch sense is like, yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Menacing. I appreciate that. That'll help me out a lot. I'm sure I could Google it or whatever. I'm sure we could find it somehow. But if you got a link for it, it sure will make it easier on me. So thank you for that. Yeah, you're right, Mickey. If that's how you pronounce that. You're awesome, Watch Woman. I mean, that's, yeah. Deborah, let me answer that. Guys, in case you aren't seeing the chat, says Mark, does your wife ever get mad at you for being on here with us? Guys, my wife is in bed. Okay, very seldom am I on here when she's awake. I try to do my best not to take time from my family to do my shows and do my editing and stuff like that. And this is the big. Well, that's cool. Thank you, Watchwoman. I really appreciate that. This is the biggest reason why I like the live streaming a little bit better. Not only do I get to communicate with you guys and connect, but at the same time, I don't have to go back and edit anything. So, all this time that I'm spending with you guys, there's sometimes, and Scott could probably attest to that if he's still in here, that we will sit here and make a video, and we will spend so much time editing it that it's like 4 or 5 times the amount of time it takes to actually do the video itself. So I could do 3 live streams in the time it takes me to do 1 edited video. So yeah, Deborah, if she was up, she would be mad if I was on here all the time. But I won't do that. I just, as much as I love you guys, obviously my family for me would have to come first, and I would hope it would be the same for you guys. That's just what it is. Yeah, Jamie, we were just checking that out. Let me show you. Right in here, guys, it lights up like a stinking Christmas tree. Look at that. Those black dots are hot spots. And then, Jamie, check this out. Right here where these spots are lighting up, check it out. Earthquakes. So, yeah. It doesn't get any more, completely obvious than that. It just doesn't. Yeah. Ain't that crazy, Jamie? It is. It really is. That's what most people were saying. I'm sitting here looking at this thing, and I'm like, and guys, we seen this yesterday too, but I'm not sure it was this intense. At least not concentrated right here. This seems like it got a little bit worse today. Okay, and it is going around the North American craton, right around the edges. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I love the fact, Jamie, that you're on here looking at this kind of stuff, though. That's what we need. Everybody needs to be looking at this stuff. So CME equals earthquakes, Jim. It typically what will happen is especially if it's fired at us, it will add overall energy. Okay. Sometimes the initial jolt can actually cause an earthquake, but what happens is it's the residual that come in through the poles typically, and it has a lot to do with the angle too. We can talk about that too, but we can only hold so much energy, and we have to let it go. And sometimes we have to let it go through an earthquake. And I said this a lot. It isn't the sole reason these things happen. It's part of the formula. A lot of things have to come together for an earthquake to happen, believe it or not. It's not as simple as going outside and kicking a rock. Things happen underneath us that are happening all the time, and a certain sequence has to happen for certain ones to pop off when they do. And when all that stuff is in that perfect condition, it's when it does. It's what happens. So it's yes, they are now. And for a long time, people like Ricky and Dutch and Scott and myself, we've been saying for a couple years, hey man, we've been noticing really the sun is having a big time influence on our earthquake activity. And mainstream science is now coming out with, peer-reviewed papers basically confirming that. Which is definitely, yeah. Says, I wish you could overlay because from map to map you can see how and where things will happen. I can overlay, but it would take me a minute to get the program out. I haven't really messed with that program a whole lot. I don't want to, mess up a live stream. But yes, that would actually, if anybody can do that for themselves, it would make it easier. But what I was doing, I was just kind of flopping back and forth. Okay? I know it's not perfect, but it gives everybody a good idea. Yeah, Anita. Yeah. and I can't thank people like Scott enough that, have actually taken the time to try to help me understand things the way that I do, to the point where I'm now comfortable going and looking at stuff for myself, and, taking it back to him and having my own ideas, and whoever else I'm talking to, not just Scott, everybody. And, for the most part, I'm not so crazy anymore like I used to be. If it will cause a Carrington event, no. This CME is nowhere near. It says we are blasting away here in Canada. Are you? Wow. Having some big bumps, huh? Yeah, that CME had just popped off, guys. Let's go over here and look at that again. That is not nowhere near a Carrington event CME. And like I said, I was, yeah, I apologize, was still typing. Hotspots everywhere. Yes. Learn, yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate that, Della. I mean, honestly, I that's my hope. My hope is that, God forbid something happens to me or Scott or whoever else, if we were just like fall off the face of YouTube, right? That somebody would be able to look at this and just pick it up and go with it. That's the goal, as far as trying to show people other things so they can understand it. We don't want this kind of thing to die out once we are no longer, doing what we're doing here. Because, it's all going to come to an end for us one day, whatever day that is. I don't look for it to be anytime soon. What I'm saying is that eventually, you got to bow out, right? Yeah, I think you're right, Ricky. That's something I've held to since day one. We learn from each other. We cannot ever forget that. It's something that I've had to learn throughout my life, that, it's the second, and I've said this before, but I actually, I teach my kids this. The second you think that you know everything is the second that you stop learning. That is the very second that you stop learning. If you think you know everything, you're never ever going to learn another thing in your life. Oh, Mark, you back up in here, my brother? What's up, man? Hey, Mark, we seriously got to get together through an email, or we need to do a FaceTime or something, because I got some ideas for Mrs. Aunt Judy. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah. I think we could do some pretty cool stuff going back and forth. I'm telling you. Using a few of your videos and integrating what I'm getting ready to talk to you about, in the background here. I think people would completely love it. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be so funny. Let me just put it to you this way. My wife is a seamstress, okay? Well, she works at a bank, but she went to college for that. Yeah, we can do that, Mark, for sure. So she can, she can sew whatever I need. It's one of those things, right? That's right, Sparky. The second we think we know everything is the second we stop learning. We just cannot. We cannot ever think we know everything. It just isn't. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, guys, that's for sure, Della. You guys heard about Eddie Van Halen, didn't you? That's horrible, isn't it? That sucks. He was only 65. You believe that? Okay, cool, Mark. He passed away, Jamie. Yeah. Bad stuff, you know? What class flare is that? It's not a flare. That Taylor, that's a CME. There's a difference. Okay. You know what, guys? That this will give me a second. I want to show you guys this. Okay. Yeah, guys. I'll run through those photos again real quick. Look at those, guys. I mean, that's just crazy. It just, yeah. What was I getting ready to do? Man, I'm losing my mind. My goodness. Wow. Let's see. What was I getting? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what I was getting ready to do. Hold on. Let's put that up. We're going to go over here to my page. Okay, my YouTube channel. Let's go to videos. And actually playlist. You guys are. I had a question here, guys, of what was a solar flare in a CME. So what I've done here, guys, is with this this playlist, I have it's only like a minute and a half videos. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the one here that this is going to tell you what a solar flare is. Oh, yeah, Scott. I mean, I just haven't changed it. Yeah. Everything else is, my graphics and everything are cool and everything else, in my opinion. But the banner, I haven't taken the time to make one. I need to. Actually, I was there for a while. I was leaving the blue Kool-Aid there so people would know that's who I was at first. But guys, I'm going to play this if you guys want to check it out. This is a solar flare. Okay, this is what it is. Okay. So what did you guys think about that? Did everybody understand that? I mean, was it good enough? I hope it helped. If you guys want to know what that was, what a solar flare actually is. So what I'm going to do now is I'll play you the one that tells you what a CME is, because they're two different things. And I think people have to understand that, and I don't think that enough people actually do. Now remember, back in the day, like during the Carrington event, they didn't have two different things. It is, they were considered the same thing. They just called it, I think they called it a solar flare. It was all just called that. But now they know it's two different things. So, we'll watch this one here, because this is going to tell you what a coronal mass ejection is, a CME, what we just seen. Okay? Let me, yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that was there. We will maximize that and hit play. Okay. We can watch this last one too if you guys want to. It is for people what really want to know what. Oh, see you, Ricky. Or are you sticking around? Or Mark? Mark, you taking off, man? Cool. Glad you stopped by, man. Give me a shout tomorrow, okay? We'll work that out. For sure. Night, my brother. Love back at you, man. I can't thank Scott enough for sending me over there, and then me kind of sending you guys over there. It is, yeah. Yeah, guys, check out Verte's channel, too. You guys want to know something about Schumann, you guys, that's where you need to go. But this right here, guys, I get a lot of questions on this too. I've only got 4 in this playlist, but I'll play this one for you guys. It tells you what a sunspot actually is, okay? And what I've done, guys, I just went back and found definitions and kind of put it in a way. I try to make it to where everybody can understand it, and it's a really quick reference, and it gives you some visuals, and I think that helps. So, and for me, if I'm trying to remember something, if I put music with it, it actually helps me remember it. And that's why I did that, instead of trying to narrate through something. But this one's 3 minutes long. It'll be the last one I play of this, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. Gosh, God.
Don't hide in the dark, you won't In a place that needs change and make a difference. In a time full of noise, just listen. 'Cause life is but a breeze, better live it. In a place that needs a change, make a difference. In a world full of hate, be a light.
Address that part of it. I was going to, but it would just, yeah. I think that with everything that's going on in the world, you know, and this is something that, yeah, that, you know what, Scott, some people love it, some people hate it, and there's really no in between, and that goes right to what I'm getting ready to say. Nobody is coming to the middle on anything, and it's really nice to see. You know, like our community, you know, our little thing we got going on here. It's not so little anymore. Okay, and what's happening is that that kind of thing is starting to spread. We're starting to accept each other, even when we don't necessarily 100% agree with each other. But we're able to disagree and still be respectful. Okay? Now, I'm not saying be this completely off the rails, crazy stupid or something like that. Not, you know, that's not what I'm saying. You know, back in the day when somebody had issues, if there was something going on in our country or in the world, even in your own home, you know, what happens? One person has this opinion, the other person has this opinion, and they both want two different things. Well, they sit down. They used to call it, hey, let's go have a sit down, right? So you go sit down, and then both sides end up giving up just a little bit of what they wanted, and they come to an agreement, a conclusion. That is something we don't see anymore. And unfortunately, that's what's going to, that's what's going to just smack it all down. What'd you say? Let's see here. Everybody needs to go to Mark Pyre's Real Talk and watch the first 5 minutes if YouTube hasn't removed it. I can't believe what. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Scott. I mean, no, but seriously, listen. And I've said this for a long time. Scott's saying something there. It's very true. We used to be able to, go to school or whatever. You get in your little spats or whatever. You fight with your fists. Everybody gets back up and you're best friends the next day. That doesn't happen in today's world. Because it can't. Because when kids get in a fight nowadays, they die. Because they're using weapons. And there's no fighting. It's ridiculous. And, unfortunately, we see that everywhere. And now our leaders have become children. Watch the last debate. Complete children. Both of them were. No matter who I support, that's not what I'm saying. They were just so childish, man. It was fun to watch, I have to say. But it was actually, as an American, it was almost embarrassing. And, to watch the leader of the free world and the guy that's trying to take his job and be the leader of the free world, to act like a child, act like children like that. When you call the leader of the free world a clown, yeah, Scott, it was like a comedy show. But that's not what those things are supposed to be. That's my point. Now, I watched the whole thing. I mean, it was, tomorrow's going to be kind of crazy too. I think. You got you got somebody that's trying to run on a younger side of things. And then you got Pence. Most people don't know this, but Pence is 4 years older than Trump. He's like, what is he? Scott, you might know. I think he's 77 years old. So, it's like, and some of the stuff that was going on in that first debate, it was like, I mean, it was cringe. It really was, some of it. Yeah, Jamie, I thought the same thing. For him being a Fox affiliate, he sure is, wow. He, yeah, he sure was kind of biased big time. And I think at some level, even Trump has now lost a lot of respect even for Fox. Matter of fact, he said as much. There's a few people on there. You want me to check out Lasco C3? We can do that real quick. There it is. Yep. Oh, yeah. Huh. You guys see that? Watch the end of it. Here, let me pause it. I'll just grab it. You guys can see where you're starting to get almost another secondary ejection coming right through the middle there. Now remember, this side's ejecting now too. What we can do, let's do this. This will probably be the last thing I do, guys. I'm going to have to get off here. I don't even know how long I've been live. How long have I been live? Yeah, 2 hours. Well, 3 hours now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here in a minute. Oh, it's okay. Hey, we're gonna take a look at it anyway. We need to. So, not a big deal at all. So let's do this. Guys, if you guys ever go to ISWA, all you gotta do is see the solar tab here. Then you go down here to page 8. You got LASCO C2 and C3. This is the same camera we've seen over on Seeds. It just doesn't have the black and white view. That's the only difference. It's the same data. So we'll let that load up there. We can actually take a look at Stereo A too. If you guys notice, you see where it says Stereo A here, Core 2? That gives you a different view, but that's on a delay. That's got a couple days lag on it. If you go back to the other view over here, that doesn't. So this will give us the most updated thing we can get. So yeah, man, these things are running slow. Wow, probably because everything's trying to run. Let's X out of that one. Yeah, these are all trying to run at the same time. That's what the deal is. Sorry, guys. Sounds good, Scott. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in, bud. If you need something, let me know, man. You know, anything we can do for Claudia, I'm sure all of us will do what we can. So, wow. Look at that one. Bam! Bam! So yeah, guys, feel free to drop that link in there one more time, man, if you want. If you guys want to help out Scott and Dr. Albers, man, you know, I think Scott will probably drop that link. If not, it's in my my description underneath the video here. So yeah, guys, there's that CME. We'll pay attention to see what we get as far as any kind of like activity here. It looks as though everything's kind of leveled out here. You know, the solar, okay, now solar wind is starting to pick up here. It is kind of puzzling me, though, why the ACE data is saying that we're not really going to get that high here, but the Enlil data is still saying we're going to get up close to 700. We're going to have to wait and see. Okay, guys? Yeah, Sparky, I'm going to get off here too, guys. Guys, I really appreciate you guys stopping in, hanging out with me. I really hope that, Wolf, good to see you. Tudor, Ricky, Della, thanks for being mods for me tonight. Obviously, Scott, thank you. Della, Ricky again. Anybody else, Watchwoman, thank you for being here and helping Scott out there. Guys, Kim, good to see you. Awakening, awesome stuff, man. Woman, or man, man, right? Musk is menacing in here. Good to see you there, too. Nita, George, always good to see you, man. Yeah. If anybody's seen 7 anywhere, let me know. 7 Leisure. I haven't had a chance. I've been trying to contact him and ain't having no luck. Also, guys, everybody, please remember to pray for Teresa. Good night, Annette. Really appreciate that. CW, see you guys. Pray for Teresa. She's sick. She's in hospice. She just said she just lost her daughter just lost a baby that was 19 months. Not 19 months old, but 19 weeks gestation. And so yeah. So yeah, man. Thanks, sick touch of the incendiary, whatever that means. But I'll just call you sick. How about that? I appreciate everybody being here, guys. And again, God bless. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.